Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Babe. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussing. Yeah, hey, I like to cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on her. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on her. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on her. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, to the nice end. Yeah, yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love is all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Silver Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the head of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Hello, welcome back to
Ride
the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, Episode 36. We are fucking back on a Friday, which means only one thing, football. But also, at the end of the podcast, make sure you don't leave after football because we got a special UFC Awards type thing that you're going to want to be here for. So, it's football and UFC, and I got nothing more to say other than to bring in the other two boys, a.k.a. Tycho and Snoop. Luke, how we doing, boys?
Yeah, we're doing good. It's Friday night, which means beer league, so, amped. Got New Year's coming up. We got the Sharps betting app hosting the Michigan game at Royal Oak Imagine Theater. So if you're able to make it down to Royal Oak tomorrow to watch the game, it's free to get in. They're handing out prizes. The Sharps guys are. And, we'll all be there. So it's going to be a good time. Make sure you guys, if you can, make it down to Royal Oak tomorrow if you don't already have plans for the Michigan game. And if you do, hey, you know what? Bring whoever you're watching the game with down to Royal Oak at the Imagine Theater and watch the game with us there. It's going to be pretty cool. I've been to a couple of games there already, checked it out, and they have a great setup. Great thing going on there. So make sure you guys check that out. But Luke, how are you doing, man? Good week.
Good week. Can't really.
I never even figured out why we don't have Jake. I meant to call Jake and figure out why he's not playing for beer league tonight, but I never asked.
I was wondering that too. He didn't give any reason.
Because I'm like, oh, well, we finally have Luke playing again, and Jake's not playing, and I don't know why.
We'll gets one win as a goalie.
I just want to point out the fact that I want to point out the fact that I'm surprised that Luke isn't in Arizona right now. I don't know why, but when I saw Michigan playing Final Four in Arizona, I was like, Luke might just throw all the money that he possibly has on a fucking ticket for this game.
Hey, I'm not going to lie, man. With the parlays and stuff, the way they've been going, Luke could have bought a ticket to the game and a plane ticket and went to this game.
The fact that
it could have happened.
Arizona.
Yeah, that is convenient. But with that being said, let's just dive right into it. We'll kick it off.
I think it won't be like too big of a blowout.
Barkley down the sideline. Saquon Barkley.
You don't fuck with Aaron.
Some teams, it doesn't matter.
I think it's gonna be a very mucky dub, and it's gonna get ugly.
They have the chance to lose themselves a game, probably.
Diggs!
All right, so I assume we're gonna start with college, obviously. While we roll into the college football playoffs, there are 2 games we got to talk about before that I figured that are the less important.
After.
We'll talk about them after? Perfect.
Oh.
All right. Then we'll start off.
Priority, Dylan. This is priority number motherfucking 1.
Priority!
And we will start with TCU and Michigan, like we mentioned, in Glendale, Arizona. Michigan -7.5 is the spread. No one else really needs to talk other than Luke right
Sorry, I gotta fix my hat really quick. You see it? Can you see it good? Yeah. Go blue, baby. We're here again. We're gonna have to shut down TCU. They do have some explosive offense, but at the end of the day, will their defense really survive the pounding our offense is going to give them? I mean,
in the second half.
Well, it takes all
the pounding you're going to give them in the second half.
It starts in the first, and then they break down in the second, and that's when we take over.
Hey, look, I'm here for it. Look, I personally think that TCU might make it close, but I think I'm going to take Michigan on the spread. TCU, I don't think really – I don't know. I think they're going to be the Cincinnati of last year, and I hope it's a competitive game. I hope it's entertaining and we're not just watching a blowout on, New Year's. But, I mean, granted, if you're in Michigan, it's okay to see a blowout as long as it's going in your favor. But I would like to see some competitive football games, so I know at least, I'm praying for Ohio State to make it competitive against Georgia, so there's at least one good game. But I think Michigan covers the spread in this one.
I agree. I think Michigan, I hate saying it, but I've been fucking pretty consistent with it the past couple of weeks. I think this is the best chance of my lifetime. I'm going to see Michigan to get a national championship. I think they should smack TCU. I think this is probably going to be a close game going into halftime because it's still a Michigan-TCU game. Second half, Michigan should pull away by 14-17 and just end this bitch. So, yeah. I got Michigan. Like good amount.
Right, yeah. Pretty much all on the same page here on the Michigan game. So let's wander over to the other side and start with Luke again, with Ohio State getting 6 points at Georgia is what it's technically. And it kind of is a Georgia home game based on the location. So, yeah.
This one's interesting.
Oh, hold on. Don't you move a muscle.
Well, this one's interesting.
All right. So, Georgia looks like the better team here, and Ohio State has proved to be a decently fraudulent throughout the season. I still think that they still have the explosiveness on the offense to really do some damage. Until they get ultimate pressure on CJ Stroud, who'll probably start doing good, but once they get to get that pressure on them, Ohio State's probably going to start to crumble in the game. Either way, Georgia wins and Michigan gets past TCU. We get a revenge game from last year, or Ohio State, and we get a chance to beat them twice to win it.
That is what could happen.
I love.
But what do you have happening? That is
Which one of those two options are you going with?
I'm thinking Georgia's going to take this one, to be honest with you.
Ohio State going to cover 6, though?
Fuck no.
I think they might lose grip of it in the fourth quarter.
All right.
I think they're going to lose grip of it in the second quarter. I think anytime Georgia's had competition this year, they've smacked them because that defense is ridiculous. And I think that Stetson Bennett can be 24 years old and be a mediocre quarterback. And that's all that you need when you have the rushing and receiver game that they've just been dominating with offensively. I got Georgia by like 20. I would do some Luke shit and take a -20 spread for Georgia. 6 is fucking funny to me. That seems too easy.
I'm taking Ohio State +6.
Why?
I think it's going to come down.
I'm rooting for competitive football, period. I need good football. I hate the college football playoff because you go into the 1 versus the 4 and the 2 versus the 3, blowout. Okay, national championship. Here we go. Now I got to wait another week for a good game. And I've wasted 6.5 hours of my fucking life. So I'm taking Ohio State to cover 6 points here because I need this to be a close game edge of my seat, oh my God, what's happening right now type of game. So Ohio State, cover that 6 points. You don't have to win. We don't need you to win. But if you do, hey, that just paints a better picture, okay? That paints a better picture for the national championship. Because honestly, Ohio State should have been the 3 in the first place and should be playing Michigan. And Georgia should be playing TCU because I don't know how Georgia, for being the number 1 team in the nation, gets rewarded by getting Ohio State instead of TCU. So bullshit. I'm thinking Ohio State keeps it close because Georgia's not really getting a reward here. They're kind of getting a test.
Well, I'm thinking they lose the spread in the final minutes.
And it's coming from Wild Fuller 125. Let's go, Georgia. Ohio is going to crumble.
They should.
But as much as you want Ohio to crumble, do you really not want to beat Ohio State in the national championship?
State's defense has been fickle against.
Don't you, as a Michigan man, want to beat Ohio State in the national championship?
It's gonna be bad.
Or is it better to beat Georgia in the national championship? Because if you beat Georgia in the national championship, you would have beaten TCU, Ohio State, and Georgia. And those are all the teams that were in the college football playoff.
You want Georgia in the natty because you just beat OSU. You beat Georgia. And right now, everyone knows in college football, when you talk about who is the best team, 9 out of 10 people that don't live in Michigan are saying it's Georgia. So if you can say you beat the best team in college football, then you win the natty. The story looks perfect, and you can say you beat every top team the entire year.
So you're taking option 2.
That's what I would.
For whatever reason, you had to re-explain what I said.
Sorry, but that's what I would.
The same way that I explained it.
Nah, it just looks better.
You're taking option 2. Luke, which option would you prefer as the big Michigan fan here?
I didn't hear the first option.
You either play Ohio State in the national championship and get to beat them twice in the same year, or you get to beat Georgia in the national championship, meaning you beat TCU, you beat Ohio State, and you beat Georgia, which were all the other teams that made the playoff. So you beat all of them in the same year and won the national championship, or Ohio State twice.
It's just tough because beating Ohio State is just it doesn't get any higher than that as Michigan if you do that for the natty. But at the same time, what the fuck Georgia did to us last year almost puts them in a spot where we need a revenge game.
Facts.
I agree.
It's hard.
The comment that I knew was coming is here. Wild Fuller 125. As a Michigan man, beating Ohio twice in a row is all well, and I'm happy either way because whoever Michigan goes up against, it's going to be a great game to watch no matter what. You know what? I'll take that because I think that no matter who they play, as long as they play Georgia or Ohio State, which, hey, guess what? If you beat TCU, you have to. It's going to be a good game. So, yeah, we're rooting for good football. Dylan, we will now head back over to you, and you can do what I would like to call Dylan's bowl games because no one else cares about bowl games.
You're going to care about some of these games, okay? These are not like
okay, Tennessee is not going to win because, they're bad. So we can just get right over that one.
First game,
Clemson's going to win.
12 o'clock, ESPN, number 5, Bama, number 9, Kansas State. It's Alabama minus 7, and I'm taking Kansas State money line. Bama's falling in a bowl game, people. This is going to be big news.
Bama's actually pissed off.
Big deal.
It's not happening.
Bama's actually pissed off.
I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, man.
And they're
you're talking about like these are like Bill Belichick level disrespects to Nick Saban. Okay, you can't do that. Nick Saban is gonna pummel these boys.
It's gonna be
he's pummeling these boys. Because you know what? A lot of these Alabama players, some did opt out, but a lot don't have a reason to opt out because they're like, we ain't playing for the college football playoff next year, or we're playing for the college football playoff next year, so I can play in this game. Whatever. I'm playing next year. So I think Alabama's going to roll.
Agree.
I think they're going to get rolled. Next game. 1 o'clock, Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Number 16, Tulane. Number 10, USC. The spread is USC minus 2.
Tulane by 1 million.
Damn.
USC is not playing Jordan Addison. They're not playing Caleb Williams. There's no reason for me to root for USC or watch this game. Thank you and good night. Tulane by 1 million.
was gonna say Tulane money line, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Money line works. Tulane's the underdog for real?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm putting
because they still have their star receiver Jordan Addison playing.
No, they don't.
It says right here
He ain't gonna play.
that he's playing, and that's the only reason the spread is 2.
He ain't playing.
So that is why it is. But the final game that we have to talk about is the Rose Bowl game. The final game, Penn State, number 11, Utah, number 9. Should be a pretty damn good Rose Bowl. I'll give you that. Rose Bowl games are usually pretty close, and I think this one will be good. I think this will be the most competitive out of the Dylan's bowl games. Oh, he's injured? Damn.
Injured.
Yeah, my ass.
Yeah. Anyways, Tulane by 1 million. You can ride that again. Jordan Addison, not playing.
The spread is Utah -2. I don't know where I'm going on this one. I'm not gonna lie. This could be a last-minute.
Oh yeah, they're playing who?
Utah versus Penn State.
Oh wow, Utah.
Give me Penn State by a game-winning field goal.
Ew, no. What? Go to bed. Dude, go to bed. What the fuck are you talking about?
The spread is -2. The game's in California.
Penn State likes it cold.
Penn State can't play in the cold. Their quarterback sucks.
Penn State likes it cold. Penn State's also bad at football.
Penn State's 10-2. Utah's only beaten fucking USC.
All right. Hey, Utah's winning, man. I don't know how to put it any other way.
It's true, but that's just the only team that they have 2.
You're praying for miracles in bowl games. I'm telling you how it is.
One, and the other 2 are USC. It's ridiculous. But that does close out the NCAA football, the bowl games, all that BS. So now we can roll right into Week 17 of the NFL season.
What's going on, guys? Tyco here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
All right, guys, let's jump right into it. We got 2 weeks left of the NFL regular season, so let's kick off Week 17 with game number 1, which is Carolina getting 3.5 points heading to Tampa Bay. They just pooped on the Lions last week. How do we feel about Carolina going to Tampa Bay, essentially playing for the division this week against Tampa Bay? Dylan?
I don't like Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I know everyone's expecting, and by everyone I mean Tyler, because I vividly remember him saying that this is going to be the game where Tom Brady goes crazy, the Bucs finally unleash Mike Evans, and they just go crazy. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the Panthers are going to win like 24-21, and the Buccaneers are going to continue to play mediocre football, but they're going to make you watch.
How does Carolina win?
Because Carolina has shown that their run game is the only way that they are staying in football games. And when I look at Tampa Bay, and
you think Tampa Bay can adjust?
Alvin Kamara,
the Lions, I get it. We don't adjust.
Barkley, when they've had to go up against the best running backs in the league, granted, McCaffrey isn't on Carolina anymore. I think that it's going to be a challenge for him, and I'm taking the Panthers money line.
I think the Panthers are going to do some dumb shit. I still think that same way that I felt before about Tom Brady unlocking that offense this week. So I'm taking Tampa Bay to cover 3.5 in this game. I think that Carolina got their fluke, what the fuck Carolina win last week. So this is a vintage Tom Brady against Carolina.
Well, look, if you're feeling that confident in them, Tampa Bay -20.5, baby. Throw it on me.
All right, this is.
I was gonna say.
God damn it!
That's the right.
God damn it, Luke!
It's too close to the game, bro. What?
All right, 20.5. There we go. All right, next game. Luke, we'll stay on you for this one. Cleveland's getting 1.5 points, heading to Washington, taking on the Foot Commanders. Luke, what do you got? Carson Wentz is
Probably.
also starting for Washington.
And I was thinking how, he's still got to go against Myles Garrett. I'm probably going to be taking the Browns in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Browns too. I'm going to take the Browns on the money line when it comes to this game. Washington, I don't think you're going to be able to pull this one out. Also, Lions need you to lose. So usually everything goes the Lions' way, and then the Lions end up fucking it for themselves. So I think Washington's going to lose.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see any other outcome other than Deshaun Watson. The one thing that he has since he's come back is some fucking top tier defense. So that just continues to come. Yeah, Washington's gonna be fucked. Next game, New Orleans and Philadelphia. The Saints are plus 5.5, which makes this pretty damn easy for me. I don't care if it's Jalen Hurts, and I don't care if it's Gardner Minshew. Philadelphia minus 5.5.
All right. Well, 5.5. Ugly ass number. So what do you do in this case? You either take the money line for the underdog or you don't touch it. So I'm going to take New Orleans on the money line. Fuck it. Luke?
Why?
Honestly, because fuck it.
So do they play
An ugly number. It's an ugly number. Philadelphia is already in the playoffs. They're fine. I think this is a Saints play.
I'll take the plus 5.5.
All right, let's roll into the next one. Luke, we'll stay on you because it's Arizona getting 6 points. They're heading to Atlanta this week. Ugly football last week, but can we bounce back?
Yes, we can by changing
Bob
that
the
plus to a minus for Arizona.
Ooh, wow. Feeling confident in the boys this week. Dylan, how about you? Arizona plus 6 at Atlanta.
Hell no, I ain't touching this game. I can't play Atlanta unless they're a fucking dog, and I don't like this spread at all because no, just fuck no. I'm not touching this game. If you want to lean, I'll give you the over. I'm not touching it.
All right, yeah, I'm going to play my no card on this game.
Yeah, bro, fuck this shit.
I can't. It would be dishonest of me to give you a pick in this game because I don't have any true feelings one way or the other. So disregarded. Next game we have up though, Jacksonville is -3 at Houston. Houston has been playing better football, but I did support them when they were getting 14 and 17.5 on the spread. I don't really support them getting 3, especially to a Jacksonville team that maybe they don't care about this week, but you're going to use this week to work on things for next week when you play Tennessee in essentially the game for the division because this week doesn't matter for either one of those teams. So I'm going to take Jacksonville -3 at Houston because they're getting ready to take on Tennessee next week. Luke?
Well, Houston finally got their dub. They're probably going to lose out. They're probably going to lose out the rest of the season. So give me the Jags.
Yeah, Jags have won 4 in a row. If they're playing the best football that I've seen Trevor Lawrence play in his NFL career, there's no reason not to take the Jags.
Hey man, Houston's on a 1-game win streak.
All right. Next game we got up is a big one. We got Chicago getting 6 points, heading to Detroit. Detroit does struggle with running quarterbacks. They struggled containing Justin Fields earlier this year, even though they did come out on top in that game. It was a problem. It's been a problem all year, no matter who the quarterback is. If they are a mobile quarterback, they've caused issues for this Detroit defense, who just got annihilated last week against Carolina, like I said before. But with that being said, I'm still going to take the Lions -6 in this game. I think our offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders. It's the last home game of the year. It's going to be packed. It's going to be loud. Lions -6. Fuck the Bears.
I got the Bears +6. I think the Bears are really good at making you think every week that they might win this football game. They've done it for 8 straight weeks. This is a Lions game that I think is going to frustrate Lions fans more than it should.
Man, I don't even think Bears fans want the Bears to fucking win this game. They want the number 1 pick.
Exactly. It will be close.
Hey. Just
But
also
I
being
think
said,
what?
the Bears, if they lose out and Houston loses out and they finish with the same record, then the Bears actually get the number 1 pick because their strength of schedule is tougher than Houston.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Oh, very interesting. Very something to think about.
My parlay would be Bears +6 over 52.5.
Well, the only way to save Detroit is to give up on Detroit. Doing it, Chicago's going to win this one. Swift and swole. Not really going to have an issue with Detroit. This is the downfall of Detroit now. They're falling off. It's over. Their rise was done.
Y'all thought I was
next
jumping
season.
off the shit.
Wow.
Lock it in.
He did say he had to do it for purposes that we all know to be true. So I think I can support it. But we'll go to the next game here. We got Miami getting 2.5 points, heading to New Orleans, or New England. I did this last time too. New England. They're heading to New England. They don't have Tua for this game. He got his fucking third concussion of the year. But Teddy Bridgewater, very, very, very sustainable backup, even though it seems like Teddy Bridgewater gets injured every time he comes in as a backup. I'm still gonna do it though. I'm gonna ride Miami plus 2.5 here against New England. I'm taking Bridgewater to take him over the bridge and get him into the promised land. Luke? Can't hear you, Luke.
That's not important. What is important is that Miami's going to win this fucking game because New England, I mean, okay, yeah, cool. They started playing, their offense started clicking last week? A little bit?
A little bit.
Only to Myers. Yeah, give me Miami.
Dylan?
I'm so stuck.
It's home Bill, not road Bill.
I know this is going to be an under in my head. I know that's the only thing I know for sure. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the safe play, and I'm going to just take the under, and I'm not going to give you a play.
Do you know what the over-under even is?
41.5.
Okay, because it's nice to give the people an actual fucking number.
Yes, I'm going to take under 41.5. That's my play for the game.
All right. We'll go to the next one here. Denver getting 12.5 points at Kansas City. Hey, I said it all year. Kansas City doesn't cover spreads, period. So Denver plus 12.5, easy play. Denver's going to figure it out because what? They're not supposed to figure it out. Was Kansas City supposed to go to overtime with the Texans? No, but Denver plus 12.5, that's an easy play. It's the same way the Texans were an easy play at plus 14 and plus 17. It's the fucking NFL. Plus 12.5, I'm eating that.
We're in week 17. Any spread over 10, if you take, you're fucking crazy. I'm sorry. You're absolutely insane. This is easiest play of the week. Plus 12.5 for Denver.
20.5. Oh, sorry. I had to sneeze.
No, go ahead. Sneeze that whole one out. Do it.
You know, I have a lot of interesting thoughts on this game because, I mean, Denver, didn't they just fire their head coach?
Yep.
Yeah, they brought in the guy that the head coach hired to help him manage the clock as the new head coach.
In normal situations.
That's hilarious, by the way.
Normal situations, I'd be like, oh, fire the head coach, the team's going to be fired up. No. I think this is going to be the first time Kansas gets the 20.5 spread. Let's see it. Denver's going to be cooking so bad they're going to be burnt up and thrown away in the garbage. They're not even be looking good.
Not even looking
not even
good.
Juicy, just
Kansas
dry.
City plus minus 20.5, folks. You heard it here first, all right? And you're probably only going to hear it here. So, next game we have up, Indianapolis getting 5.5, heading to New York to take on the New York Football Giants. I'm taking the Giants in this one. Honestly, I'm kind of talking myself out of it. It's that same fucking number.
Let me help you.
Not touching the game. I'm taking over or under. I gotta look at it.
I'm taking Colts money line. I'm taking Colts money line right here, right now. Want to know why?
You know what? I have to.
Are not winning a football game the rest of the year. Tyler said it 4 weeks ago. They are 0-4 in their last game. I don't see this changing. I've played the playoff predictor where I make them lose all the games and see what happens. It's very, very clear. They are probably going to make the playoffs on the last seed, and they can still lose out. That's how all this shit can still happen. And I think that would be hilarious. Give me Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'll take Indianapolis. I did say they were going to lose every game this year, so yeah, the rest of the year. Indianapolis.
It's still happening.
Is this NYG or J?
Giants.
Okay.
Considering this is the next one.
Oh, okay. I was confused for a second. But, I mean, Saquon, he's in a game that needs to clutch up. And to kind of fuck the Lions some more. I mean, the Giants are just going to win
the
this
Lions
one.
only fuck themselves. The Lions only fuck themselves.
Saquon Barkley is going to be running all over Indianapolis Colts.
Pray for you. I pray for you at night, Luke. Awful times sometimes.
Give me 2 TDs.
Okay, we'll go to the next game. New York Jets -1.5 at Seattle. Luke, we'll go right to you in this one too. What do you think about the other New York football team?
Well, I mean, Seattle's been playing like a bunch of bums recently-ish. But that being said, Mike White, I mean, he's back. He's still a bum. I mean, his ribs prove it every day. His ribs are literally like fucking mine.
You're such a hypocrite. I was gonna say.
You got ribs like
you ain't
me.
talking shit about
mean,
ribs, don't we?
Listen, I know how it feels, so I know what he's going through. And he's about to take one shot and be donezo. And then the Seattle Seahawks are just going to cruise their way onto victory.
Yeah, I'm actually taking the Seattle Seahawks in this one too. I'm going to take them on the money line. It's a pretty good play, I think. New York Jets, good defense, but
ready for Zach Wilson to be back in the game.
Might find some touchdowns in this one, so I'm gonna take Seattle. Yeah, get ready for Zach Wilson to enter in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a Mike White play here for me. I think that Mike White is the quarterback for the New York Jets. I think
the second quarter.
Defense is going to ultimately be what wins them this football game against Seattle. The more pressure they create on Geno is honestly just going to result in hopefully more turnovers for them. I'm going to take the Jets -1.5.
Okay. Let's keep it right on you for the next game. San Francisco is getting 9.5 points, going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders.
No thanks.
Well, Raiders are without their starting quarterback.
I'll take the over. Over 42.5. That's my play. I'm not taking a fucking winner. I'm sorry, because the only reason why is because even though Brock Purdy has been balling, for some reason, this is just a weird spread. I don't like the 9.5. I don't like it. Something is screaming at me, Dylan, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, well, I'm screaming at you, Dylan, don't take the over. This is going to be an under. This is like a 27-6 game, like 27-3 game. Like
You think so? You think I should not touch it?
I think it's an underplay. I think I'm playing the under.
Call me crazy all you want, but I think
You're crazy, bro. You took Kansas City -20.5.
Bro, you're fucking insane.
But I think Vegas covers because it's gonna take a lot. I mean, it's a lot of people are not happy in Vegas's locker room with them benching Carr, from what I've heard. And
Carr was also told to stay away from the team.
I mean, I think Devontae Adams is about to try and play even harder now to shop himself for other teams. It's going to be harder for him because, I mean, he's a receiver and he needs to get thrown the ball. Unlike Josh Jacobs, I think he might potentially have a really good game against San Francisco, even though San Francisco is really good against the run. But he has
their D line is pretty solid.
He was brought in on a prove-it year, absolutely proved he was the man, and now the team is falling apart. Derek Carr, his boys, not in.
Hey, Luke, I support everything you're saying. My only thing is, Devontae I don't think he's going to need to have that pop-out game because of the fact that he's on a 5-year deal. He's not going nowhere. Other teams, this and that, bro is staying put. Hell, this might be the last game he plays this year.
I mean, he's still going to want to get the hell out of there.
He might.
Ever heard of a trade, Dylan?
For a trade.
I know, but at the same time, when a receiver gets signed to a 5-year, $140 million deal, they're not normally traded the next year unless you're Antonio Brown.
Yeah, but you also, but Devontae was brought in on terms thinking Carr was going to be his quarterback for those 5 years, not that he was going to get sat and he's probably not going to be on Vegas after this year.
Yeah, probably not.
His career in Vegas is done. And in Devontae Adams' mind, he was about to be playing with one of his best buddies as a quarterback for the next 5 years, and now that is done before the first year is even done.
Nah, he's not going to be happy, but he's going to be put there for at least another year. I can tell you that.
Probably, but
he might go
likely to change, subject to change. This spread is also subject to change. Minnesota getting 3 points, heading to Green Bay. Minnesota is literally the team with the best record in the league that never gets is never the favorite. They're never the favorite, even though their record is so good. So what's so fraudulent? I'm not really positive, but 3 is honestly the right number for this game, considering that every game is decided by one score with this team. So Minnesota at Green Bay, I'm taking the under.
I feel like they're having a little bit of Dallas's issue a couple years ago. Their defense is just fucking them over.
Mm-hmm. Dylan?
Their offense is doing fine.
Dylan, it smells like fish. Can you close your legs?
I hate these games this week, bro. They're just making me mad. These spreads.
Well, what do you got, man? Make a good pick.
Give me Green Bay -3.
Okay. Luke, I've never actually heard a pick.
Green Bay money line. I mean, they're probably going to win this game. They're going to be trying to fuck over the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Probably going to happen. This Lions downfall. It's happening now.
All right, well, we're going to the next game here. We got the Los Angeles Rams +6.5 going to the LA Chargers. I'm taking the Rams +6.5. Something about the Rams right now. I don't know. You know what this week is, Dylan? The sportsbook's getting their money back. That's what it is.
Seriously, bro. I can't bet on Justin Herbert and the Chargers on this podcast, but for some reason, I don't feel like that's a bad play the way Baker's been playing.
Take the Rams +6.5. Cam Akers just was reborn last week. I don't know if you missed that.
6.5. Fuck it. Plus, I'll take it with you, Ty. I'll take the spread.
You know, there's 2 things I'm thinking about. And they both make me want to go the other way. But at the end of the day, I hope Bookie is watching. There's no way that Green Bay is winning this game. No way.
Says Wildboy125 at Bookie.
But Rams +6.5. Get your money while you got it.
For sure, people. You heard the man. Next game up, Pittsburgh getting 2.5 points, heading to the Baltimore Ravens. Dylan, what do you got?
Hey, Kenny Pickett is quarterback, and that is what's making this very difficult for me. So let me just tell myself that it's actually John Cena playing quarterback, and I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers money line.
Okay, John Cena. All right. For sure.
I don't have Baltimore winning. They're frauds, and they already clinched, and I think they're going to lose out. Fuck them.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh +2.5 too.
Considering Lamar got ruled out again and isn't playing this week, I'll probably be taking Baltimore. Fuck it.
Okay, did not see that coming from what you said, but hey, Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I mean, thanks NFL. Thanks so much.
I'm mad Jesse's not here for Monday Night Football. That's the only game I really want him here for.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it right now. Buffalo -1.5 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati honestly playing some of their best football all year right now. I'm taking, personally, Cincinnati plus the 1.5. It could be a 1-point game, but I'm going to take Cincinnati plus 1.5 here. It's going to be a really good football game.
This will be the best game of the week. Problem is that you have to wait all the way till goddamn Monday to watch it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, I mean, I can't – shit, dude. I might actually be taking Cincinnati because they're really good at home. And they play really good football against really good teams lately. But Allen needs this win on the road. Fuck.
Pick.
Buffalo. Oh.
Thank you. Fuck.
Luke,
You're
I
muted.
cannot hear you.
Well, you see, I'm going to be taking Cincinnati's money line. This can be a good game. Could be a high-scoring game. We'll see.
Yummy in the tummy.
You're muted, Ty.
And that is all we have for the NFL. So, yummy in your motherfucking tummy. Let's get down to business. if you've stuck around this long, it's time for the UFC Awards for 2022, brought to you by Luke Dacey and by the Sharps Betting app. Why? Because I like free advertising, and you guys really should check out the Sharps Betting app. So, with that being said, let's get into this year's UFC Awards.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
All right, let's get into it, Luke. The Ride the Tide UFC Pay-Per-View Awards for 2022. Here we go.
All right. Well, you see, we're going to start it out with the pay-per-view of the year. And we are going to start it out with the best. Let's start with the best pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, let's keep.
I got it tied on UFC 281. UFC 278, this is the card. Leon Edwards upsetting Usman. Paulo Costa went to war with Luke Rockhold. Jose Aldo went to war with Merab Dvalishvili. Still hard to say that name, god damn it. And then there was a KO from Lucy Pudilova in the second round, and then Tyson Pedro with the first round KO. Then we got UFC 281. Israel Adesanya gets defeated by Alex Pereira. Absolute mayhem. Then we have Carlos Esparza losing to Weili Zhang in the second round via submission. Dustin Poirier went to war with Michael Chandler. Frankie Edgar lost to Chris Gutierrez, which was honestly a shock to me. And Dan Hooker's KO victory in the second round.
I think we know who the winner is going to be here.
It's tough, but I might have to give it. Okay. Goddamn.
Well, I was drum rolling it, and you didn't have an answer.
But you weren't ever stopping. I was trying to say it. You're supposed to stop so I could just be like, with it. But I think I might be giving it to
281.
281, yeah.
Yay!
I'll give it to 281. I would say 278, but I mean, it was just one of the craziest upsets we've seen. But honestly, it was a pretty boring fight throughout the fight.
281.
And then there's a puppy.
Woo!
Now let's get the worst UFC pay-per-view card out of the way.
Oh, that one's easy. I just watched it.
UFC 273, which is Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. Sterling versus Jan in the decision win for Sterling. Chimaev versus Burns, which was an absolute war. That was the only good fight on the card. Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres. And then Vince Pichel versus Mark Madsen. All decisions except for Volkanovski, who absolutely mauled the Korean Zombie, and it wasn't even good to watch.
I'm going with that.
For UFC,
I'm going with that one, man.
Gilbert
UFC
Burns and
282.
Chimaev?
That was the only good fight.
I was
Here's
gonna say,
UFC 282.
That was one of the best fights of the year.
UFC 282. The fights for it. Jan Blachowicz versus Magom Ankalaev. It was a draw after 5 rounds. Paddy Pimblett, one decision over Jared Gordon. Santiago Pinzimbio defeated Alex Morano by KO, and Darren Till gets absolutely fucked by De Cruz Duplessis in a third round submission, and Bryce Mitchell gets absolutely fucked by Ilya Topuria in the second round submission.
And the winner is?
I think I might have to go to UFC 282. Just all around, every fight was just not exciting to watch. Maybe if you're a Topuria fan, just for the first fight. But at the end of the day, that fight itself even if you don't like either of the fighters, it was just not a fun fight to watch. It was just brutal.
It was a shit show.
But let's move on to the fight of the year.
Ooh.
We have, there it is, Chimaev versus Burns on UFC 273. Brendan Moreno versus Brendan Figueiredo on UFC 270. Or Yuri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira, UFC 275.
I know mine, but I'm happy with whoever you pick, to be honest.
It's like, how do you even pick between these? Like, can they all fucking win? My God. They're all absolute beautiful wars. I mean, every time Moreno and Figueiredo fight, it's an absolute war. I haven't seen a fight where it wasn't a war between them two, and they had 4 fights already. They're about to have 4 against each other. I think I might have to give it to Chimaev and Burns.
I'm cool with that. I was
think
gonna say
for the
that
reason
one or Jiri, I was cool with either one.
that one, they almost kind of both same thing. I mean, Jiri proved himself against Glover and actually took out the man Glover. But I think for the reason Chimaev and Burns, I mean, Burns was the man who was supposed to test Chimaev. Chimaev at that time going into there was untouchable, was basically barely ever touching his fights leading up to there.
Thanks.
And a lot of people were having him kind of cruising through Burns a little bit, but I'm like, hold up, this could be a fucking banger of a fight. I mean, he's not some pushover. Gets in there, they have an absolute war. Chimaev came out on top, proved himself. Burns proved he still has it, and gave Chimaev a run for his money.
I agree. I think that's a great pick.
And next up, just to end it all, save the best for last. UFC pay-per-view KO of the year from Ride the Tide. Here are the contenders. Michael Chandler's punt to the face on Tony Ferguson. Leon Edwards' high leg kick on Usman in the final minute of the fight to win the belt when he was going to lose the decision on all 3 scorecards. Then, Weili Zhang spinning forearm on George Chaychak to basically end her career.
Yeah, that's my pick. I don't know about you guys, but I'm taking the spinning forearm back fist to end that woman's career as the knockout of the year. That's my pick.
Ooh, well, I'm taking Leon Edwards' head kick KO in the final round as my KO of the year. So, Luke, who do you got?
It's...
If you pick the other one, that's fucked.
I know.
Yeah, don't do
The problem is, I was kind of leaning towards that one a little bit, but I'm stuck between...
that. No, you can't do
It's so hard.
No more.
that. We can't split it.
I might have to give it to... Oh, but the spinning form was so nasty. Oh, I might have to give it to Edwards. And only because of the entire situation going into it. He was losing the scorecards. He was good the first round, and then rounds 2, 3, and 4 was getting mauled by Usman. Was gonna then to start the 5th round, or the first 4 minutes of the 5th round, he was still getting mauled by Usman. I mean, but at the end of the 4th round, his coach kind of gave him a talking to, like wake the fuck up, basically, and win this fight. And he went out there 5th round, gets mauled more, final minute, fakes him out with the left to hide the high kick. And Usman, someone who's been known to be absolutely untouchable, an absolute unit, someone who you just could not see losing at all in like anywhere near in the time future. But he fucked around, found out with Leon Edwards, and got knocked out.
100%.
And absolutely folded like a lawn chair.
I think those are great awards. I think those are great results.
I think honorable mention we got to give to Molly McCann for the spinning elbow on Luana Carolina.
I think it was a great year in UFC, and if there's anything we can hope for next year, it's some fucking better judges.
Yes, that is the only thing, because the KOs were good, fights were good. I guess not all of them. We had some bullshit championship fights, but
hey, 2 rules: better judges and make fucking weight.
Tell your guy that.
I know. That's for you, Ali. I'm not talking to you. That's the rule for 2020.
Meanwhile, Chimaev, my guy, missed over by like 10 pounds.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for today's podcast. So make sure you guys check out sixpackcoverage.com. Make sure you guys check out the Sharks app. Make sure you guys do everything you want to do on New Year's, but also keep it safe. And we will see you guys next year, which is also next week on Wednesday. See you guys next week. Other than that, I'm getting the fuck out. See you.